Now, if I tell you she dances on trains, has her own love line, and is the final authority on what you should wear and when, would you be able to guess who I'm talking about? Those are dead simple clues, but don't worry if you can't, because the lady herself is my guest today. Her name is Malaika Arora. Welcome to the program, Malaika.
Thank you.
You know, it's an intriguing name, Malaika. Are you named after the famous Swahili song?
Well, yes, I could give credit to, to the song over there. My mother actually heard it, and obviously it was a big hit that time, and she decided that, yes, my daughter's going to be Malaika. So that's how it actually all came around.
And do you know and love the song yourself?
Yes, because like I was saying, that was the first thing she taught me, and she told me all about the song and what it meant. Do you know what it means actually, Karan?
Tell me.
It means angel. And that's what she said. She says, it means angel, but my little daughter is actually an angel in disguise, which pretty much is a devil around the place. So, yeah, she did teach me the song, and I pretty much know the song, and it's Swahili, so I sing it pretty all right.
Well, your mother told me that you sing it extremely well, so go on, sing it for us.
Oh. Don't do this to me. Let me give it a shot, actually. It's been years that I've actually sung the song. I tend to hum it more often than anything. But you promised to give me backup vocals, right?
Absolutely.
Promise?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's go. How does it go? It's Malaika, nakupende Malaika, naminishande ichuna wensiao, nashindwala malasina way, ukuo Malaika. Yeah.
Incredible. I wonder if the theatre company should be hearing you. You should have a recording contract.
I think so too.
Now, the other good news is that you've recently been contacted by an Indo-French venture who are making a new film, and you have a star role in it.
Well, things are still under talks. But actually, before we go any further, you said you call me Malaika Arora. I have to tell you that there's more to my name. It's Malaika Arora Khan now.
Quite right. My apologies. I forgot the bit that you were married. I was leaving that for later.
So I have a new addition to my already extremely long name. Yeah, getting back to the film, well, these people did contact me, and this whole thing did come around. We're still in stages of finalizing.
You can't talk too much about it.
Yeah, because it's still very premature.
But tell me, how does this happen? Did you just get a call one day straight out of the blue?
Well, actually, yeah, pretty much everything in my life has gone like that. Something just out of the blue has just woken up and decided to come my way. Yeah, something like that. They're looking for somebody so-called who looks like an Indian princess. That's what they said. I mean.
So you'll have a title pretty soon as well as a long name.
Exactly. So that's how it is, and I mean, the whole role is somebody of a princess and things like that. So that's how they spoke to me, and well, it's been a couple of times. So the minute things happen, I'm sure.
But it's interesting that you have these sort of accidents, because I gather your first break in films with Dilse was a result of another phone call, and then you thought it was a hoax.
That's right. Pretty much like that. And I was not very sure, and they, well, actually, there is a little background to the whole thing. So it was actually Farah Khan, who is the choreographer of the song. She called up and she said, listen, you know, we're doing the song, and she told me everything about the film, and would you do it? And it wasn't told to me directly, it was told to Arbaz actually. And then he told me about it, and
what did you say? Did you jump at it, or did you say, I'll think about it?
No, I was very skeptical, extremely skeptical, because I had no idea what was in store for me. Because the first time I would actually be seeing myself on 70mm, which is quite something. So I said, God, are you sure? Then he was like, listen, you can't, there can't be a better platform. There's Mani Ratnam, there's Shah Rukh Khan, there's A.R. Rahman, there's Farah Khan. So the whole thing put together was an incredible package. So he said, I think you should be part of it. So I said, okay, let's give it a shot.
And there was the train as well. Do you remember the Chaya Chaya song? I gather you did it on a moving train. Were you nervous?
Well, they didn't tell me it was on a moving train.
They hid that?
No, it was just said that we're shooting on a train, and something like we'd be shooting.
So you assumed it would be inside not on top of?
Yeah, pretty much like that. So, and I love dancing. Dancing is something which is in my veins, and I really, really enjoy it. So he said, okay, fine. And when we went there, the whole thing was shot in Ooty, and then this train pulls up, and we all get onto this train early, 6 o'clock in the morning. And I see everybody on top of the train. Nobody was in the train. I was like, rather strange. Why is everybody on top of the train? And, well, then I refused to get on. I just refused to. I was like, first couple of hours, I said, no, why don't you all take your shots? And I'm fine the way I am.
I'll watch from downstairs.
Yeah. I said, I like it from here. It's nice from here. And it literally took me about 24 hours to get up on that train and muster up enough courage to say, okay, I can do this. But once I was up there, couldn't get me down.
Tell me about train. Did it really move as fast as it seemed to do in the film?
Yes, pretty fast. It's a normal, it's firstly, it's not one of those express trains that go in and out. It's one of those chuk-chuk trains that you see in Mathiran or whatever, but a bigger version. So yes, it did go pretty fast, and it kept going along that track up and down, so it was pretty fast. The thing was, what was scary was, it was at a height, and everything was, you know, open at the side. There was a sheer drop.
So if you fell off, you went all the way down the mountainside.
Yeah. Pretty much like a Hindi film rolling all the way down, yeah.
Now, you know, of course, for millions of your fans, they know you really not as an actress so much as a model and a VJ, but I gather both those careers happened, again, almost by accident. Is it true that, for instance, you became a model because you went with your sister Amrita, who was one, to one of her shoots?
That's pretty much how it started. Thank God I'm not born by accident. I was pretty much planned, considering everything has gone by accident. Yeah, I went to pick her up from a shoot, and she was shooting with Suresh Natarajan, and that's how it all happened. And he met me, and he was like, "Why don't we shoot a couple of pictures?" Well, I had done a few pictures prior to that, because somewhere in me, I wanted to be this model, actress, whatever.
But those were still part of a private collection.
Yeah, it was something that I desired to do. But this was actually where it all started rolling. And he said, let's do some pictures and let's, you know, see what happens. And there I was shooting with him.
And within weeks, in fact, you were on the front cover of Society, and you were only 17.
That's right.
Was that fun?
It was scary because I was in college, and everybody looked at me rather weirdly. It was like, God, did you see her? She was on the cover and this and that. She's going to bunk classes. She's not around, and, you know, she's going to get away with murder, kind of a thing. So everybody gave me those dirty looks in the beginning, and then it kind of became, I became this little celebrity in college, you know.
That must have been fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, where everybody would come up to me and say, we saw your cover, and it was really excellent. But Society really gave me this amazing platform to kind of move forward. It was amazing.
You went forward in a big way because you were soon doing ads on television and print. Would you say the most famous was the MR Coffee one?
Well, I'd say it was the most
notorious.
Let's put it that way. Infamous was more like it. Yeah, well, it was. I mean, it was something that kind of made me like a household name. You know, suddenly, you know, I opened a paper and the front page was there. It was, you know, this whole MR Coffee thing, which was rather unnerving because I was just all of 18 years old, and, you know, I didn't think it was, you know, something to go on and on about, but everybody was rather scandalized by it. So, yeah.
Was that because of what people called the sexy quality of the ad?
Yeah, well, it said, pleasure doesn't come in an instant, quote unquote. Yes, and that's what the ad said. So it was rather funny, and here I was really, you know, hassled about the whole thing, and everybody, you know, I had women feeling that, you know, an girl of all of 18 is doing an ad like this, and it's not right, and, you know, morcha, and, you know, basic thing. So I was a little unnerved, but then it kind of died a natural death. But yeah,
but it got you spotted, didn't it? I mean, MTV rang up, and again, one of those famous accidental phone calls happened. Tell me about it.
Yeah, actually, one thing led to another. From there, work started happening, moving on from, you know, interesting stuff, and then one fine day, MTV did call up. Phone call comes home, and I was really excited because MTV is something that I've grown up with, you know, in the sense where music
This was an accident you were hoping would happen.
Well, not really, it was just something that I was quite anxious about. And then when they told me that this is what we're doing, we're looking for somebody to host our new show. And I'd seen the version that they had abroad. So, you know, I was really excited about that. And they told me, just come in for a video test, and then we'll see how it goes from there. And, you know, before I knew it, I was on that show.
In fact, 48 hours later, you were on the show.
But
I gather you hated the first moment.
Yeah. it was more, I was more scared about the whole thing. It kind of...
Actual nerves?
I guess a real bundle of nerves over there, because it was like loads of people, and we had people down from the head office, and, you know, a whole bunch of people just staring and gawking at me, and, you know, like, how is she, and is she going to be good? And this whole image had been created about me, you know, that, oh, you know, she's this, you know, girl that, you know, you got to have her on the set, kind of a thing. I just found everybody staring at me, and I was really scared about that. And in the beginning, it was really bad. But then once we started rolling, and I enjoyed it, there was music, and everybody loved what was happening, then I kind of...
In fact, not only do they love what's happening, you're doing some of the best shows on the channel at the moment. One of them is Love Line with Cyrus Brocha. Aren't the two of you as different as chalk and cheese?
Completely. You couldn't have put it any better than that. Completely. I mean, we're just two ends of the spectrum, but I think that's what makes the combination interesting, isn't it? I mean,
polar opposites attract each other.
Yeah, I would completely agree. I mean, it happens anywhere within a relationship or whatever. So I guess that's probably why we kind of have a great rapport together.
But
So
on Love
different.
Line, you have to be a sort of, how shall I put it, agony aunt for youngsters who are going through love problems. Is that difficult?
No, not at all, because I guess we all have our share of love problems, and from the time I can remember, I've always been the kind who would sit and, you know, kind of hear everybody out. I've been the sounding board to everybody.
You're a good listener.
Very good listener, excellent listener. And
But you look as if you're having such fun on the show, because I've watched it and I've laughed and joked with you, and yet you manage at the same time when you're giving advice to be serious. Is it difficult to switch moods like that?
well, actually, that's pretty much an extension of me, to be very honest. Very, you know, it's like I said, I'm a great listener. I love to have, you know, hear what people have to say, and, you know, problems and stuff like that. And it's been there all through my growing up years. All my friends, my sister's friends would all come up to me and share their problems. So this was, when this happened, I remember, you know, telling Natasha from the office, Natasha Malaika, I said, listen, this is something that I really want to do, you know, something I see myself. Sitting on a couch, on a red couch, I remember saying that, on a red couch, taking phone calls and talking to people and kind of solving their problems. Bingo. And next thing she says, let's have a show like this. And
So
it was
you're doing what you've always dreamt of
Yep.
doing.
It was all tailor-made for me, perfect. I got my red couch, I got my phone calls, all of it. So I have no complaints.
Now,
And
the other one is style check, where you're telling people what they should wear on different occasions. Is that fun, or is that a little daunting in case you give them the wrong advice?
well, yes, too much of pressure on me, because I could be wrong. I'm kind of taken as a style guru that I'm
Absolutely,
supposed
that's why I asked. Is
Yeah.
it daunting? Because
Yeah.
you know, everything you say
Yeah.
becomes the fashion of the next day.
gospel truth. That's what it is. So it's like I say today, and it's got to be followed the very next day. In fact, I have people come up and say, you know, Malaika, we saw that program, and you said that, you know, it's what you have to put cucumber pack on your face. Is it really good if I use it in the summer season? I was like, my God, that is incredible. I said,
Hey guys,
"You-
you don't take me that seriously.
And I remember saying it, you know, so obviously so I have loads of people come up and say, is a red hair good with a black outfit? And, you know, I'm like, yeah, go for it. It looks really good.
Sounds as if you sometimes deliberately give the wrong
No,
advice.
no,
just
no,
to
no,
inspire
no, no,
people.
no. I wouldn't do that. Actually, I quite like it because I like fashion. I like, you know, being well turned
You're
out.
not
so-
creating monsters just for the fun of it.
Not at all. I love it.
Well, I can take a break there. I want to come back in part 2 and talk to you about the lady behind the screen image, what you might call the real McCoy.
Okay.
We'll be back in a couple of moments. Stick with us. Welcome back. My guest is Malaika Arora Khan. I got your name right this time, didn't I? Let's talk about your childhood. Your parents separated quite early in their marriage, and your sister and you were brought up by your mother. Are the three of you very close?
Extremely. Extremely. We're like this. I mean, I'm sure none of us could do without each other at any point. You know,
So more like sisters than mother and daughter.
completely. We're three sisters having a blast and sailing through life.
Your sister says that as a child you were very protective of her. So were you in a sense also the elder brother?
Well, yeah, sort of. I think I kind of filled in the fact that there was no boy around, no male member around, so I was that strong male boy, the male person around, which I quite enjoyed. And yeah, more or less protected her completely. We want to make sure that she was always fine and no harm ever come to her. That was it.
In fact, she says you were quite a tomboy. She says all the boys in the neighborhood were scared stiff of you.
I can't believe she says that. Well, actually, it is very true because I don't know. I was very, very boyish when I was younger. I mean, don't get misled by the long hair and all of that.
This very, very feminine image is very new.
Yeah, I mean, I was completely different when I was a kid. I used to be climbing up trees and grazing myself, and my mother used to be hysterical. She was like, God, you know, girls, if you have to ever wear short dresses and stuff, like, you're going to have bruised black knees. You know, it's going to be terrible, you know, take care. She used to keep saying that. But yeah, I remember beating up a lot of boys.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely. I was going to say that. Your sister says you were often in scrapes.
Loads. Actually, a lot of times because of her, you know, she used to be the quiet, docile kind who used to get pushed around, and I used to hate that. So to protect her, I used to end up beating these boys up.
You'd literally roll up your sleeves and swing into the boys.
I would do that and, you know, go and confront them and say, how dare you, and bash them up. And strangely, they were really scared of me. I used to be known, you won't believe it if I tell you my pet name back then.
Go on, tell me.
I was known as Fulan Devi. Well, I mean, but yeah, that's
But
where
you
I
know,
was from.
alongside being the Poolan Devi of the neighborhood, you were also quite an athlete at school. 100 meters, 200 meters, high jump and long jump.
That's right.
Sounds as if you were full of energy and vitality.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Well, that was my passion as a child, completely. I mean, sports and dance were my two passions in life, and that was something that I went all out for. And I pretty much won quite a few, 100 meters, 200 meters state level.
So could you have ever imagined that you would end up a VJ and a
No.
model?
No.
It was the
No.
farthest thing from your dreams.
Well, I remember, I mean, yeah, there were times where people say, tell my mom, these girls should be models or actresses or whatever. And I say, no, I want to be a runner or an athlete or whatever, or I want to be this prima donna. I want to dance my way through
And
life.
in between, I want to box up all the boys I
Well,
can get.
in between all of that. Yeah, so that was essentially my plan. I remember as a kid, I remember I wanted to just dance and be the best ballerina the country has ever seen.
You did a lot of dancing as a kid as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I started at the age of 3, actually. Yep.
Have you kept it up?
Yes, in stages, yes, I have. It's very much part of my life, and I just can't give it up for anything because it's
So
there
was
in me.
Farah surprised when she realized in the middle of Chai that actually you knew dance a lot better than she thought you did.
Yeah, true. She was like, thank God. She says, as I pulled my hair out in desperation, if you hadn't learned the steps, I would have kicked you off the string, she told me. But I was not bad. I managed to pick it all up eventually.
Now, in 1999, you got married to Arbaz, and that's when the Khan was added to your name. Is it true that the two of you met on the sets of the famous MR coffee ad?
That is right. That's right. That was the first time we met, and we were most uncomfortable with each other.
Pleasure didn't come in an instant.
No, well, sort of. Because I remember my directors telling me, listen, yeah, it kind of needs the two of you all to get a little intimate, So it'd be nice if you all talk to each other and break the ice. So that's what we did. We sat in a room, stared at each other, like how we're sitting across the
like this.
table, and we looked at each other and said, hi, I'm Malaika, and he says, hi, I'm Arbaz. And that was it. And next thing we know, we become best of friends, and, it was, like, rather strange. I can't even imagine how we were together eventually.
Your sister says you once invited him to dinner, and you wanted to impress him with your cooking, but you never told him the secret.
I think we keep this a secret.
He still doesn't know.
Oh no, he still doesn't know about it. It's a
You mean
joke.
he honestly doesn't know
No.
that great meat was cooked by his mother-in-law-to-be, not
Oh
him?
God, don't do this to me. It's like a joke. Every time they want to kind of, blackmail me, we're telling her buzz about that day that you didn't actually. So yes, well now it's out. Everybody knows. I didn't cook that meal. It was cooked by my mom, and he ate it thinking it was cooked by me.
But doesn't he ask you after you got married, why haven't you ever cooked like that again?
Well, he does, and I have the best excuses in the book. I could write a book on that by itself. Oh, no, my fingers are hurting, and the knives are not too sharp, and this and that, so he's pretty much... So my constant thing is, I prefer eating. So you need somebody to sample the food, so I can't do the cooking. So
I'd rather eat than cook.
Yeah, that's my
The
constant...
funny thing is, those who only know you as a VJ and a model would think that your life is full of glamorous parties and high society occasions, but the truth, I'm told, is actually very different.
Which is?
That you're a girl who prefers spending quiet evenings at home.
Yeah, well, quite a homebody actually, at heart. Quite one actually. I love my time at home, and I love pottering around the house, and
Are you a shy, somewhat introverted person?
pretty much, yes, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
So this smiling, happy exterior, this joie de vivre is actually put on?
No, it's not put on. Well, I'm kind of...
But it's part of the image rather than the reality.
It's not image. Well, I am, if I'm having a good time, if I'm going to have to enjoy myself, that comes very naturally. But the other part of me is very quiet and not really who does open up. But you know what? Being a VJ has helped me kind of
Relax.
get rid of that, yeah. Because I was somebody who would never really talk much and always on my guard and, really kind of...
So you didn't make friends easily?
Not at all. I guess it's more because of my childhood, growing up years of being, all that. So I guess that's somehow very quiet. But because of being a VJ, I think it's kind of...
The other
Opening
interesting
up.
thing is I'm told that your favorite pastime is dusting and cleaning up at home.
Yes.
Really? Need to come home from work and to relax, you pick up a duster.
Yeah, but it is very therapeutic. I mean, I'm sure somebody would find cooking or whatever, watching a movie or whatever, getting a massage. But I find cleaning and dusting and pottering very...
So you wander around the house with a duster cleaning up things.
Yeah, so that's what my mom says. In my previous birth, I probably was...
A maid?
Yeah. Nice, sweet housemaid. That's what she says.
And your friends say that she's obsessive about tidiness. Wherever she goes, she's straightening up people's pictures and putting right their furniture.
Yeah, I do that, It's strange. I mean, when no one's looking, I quickly go and, adjust their sofas and You know, I hate seeing a tilted picture on the wall. It kind of bothers me. I don't care. I'll walk right across the room in a hotel or wherever and make sure that it's straightened out. It's just a finicky part of
Do you
me.
think you're an obsessive personality?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The cleanliness, the tidying up.
Everything. I'm very obsessive about whatever I do. Whatever. I mean, that's part of me. That's one aspect of me, but I think I'm like that in pretty much everything.
So that means you're also quite hyper. That's the energy levels in you. They're constantly very high.
Yeah, yeah, I would say that. I mean, there are times that I can really tone down, but by and large, I'm always on this high level, high alert kind of a thing happening with me. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Something in my food or water. I have no clue. Or the
Not your
vitamins.
genes. You rule those
my
out, you.
vitamins, maybe my genes. I have no clue, but yeah.
Now, I'm told you also believe in the supernatural. How do you know it even exists?
Well, well, I don't know. It's there in me. I love watching horror flicks. That's something I really enjoy. I mean, I love reading. You know, give me any horror book or whatever, I will watch it or read that book all day long. I just love it. I don't know. I just kind of believe that there is something out there. I just feel it. That
Do you
there
believe in UFOs, flying saucers?
I
Men
don't.
from Mars?
No, I don't. I love to believe men from Mars. So women are from Venus. But yeah, I do. There's a strange thing. I don't know why, but I just have that in me. I just feel that there is something out there lurking behind, which you kind of have
Just
to watch.
waiting to make itself apparent.
Yep. I just have that feeling.
In your interviews, you often say that your dream is to run a restaurant. Is that because you love food or because you think it's a great business?
Well, a mix of both. Well, isn't business point of view, it's, you know,
There's a practical side to you.
500% profit to the whole thing. Well, that's part of it. But no, I love food. That's an integral part of me. And don't look at me with that
I can't believe you love food.
quizzical look.
Just look at you. You must have a waist of about 15 inches of that. I don't know if the camera's showing the waist
No,
at the
it
moment, but where does it go if you love food?
Not my toes for sure. But considering I walk all day, no, it kind of gets worked up. But no, it's just genes, my genes, yeah. This I would definitely.
God gave you great genes.
Definitely, definitely. They're not Levi's we're talking about.
Now, can I share a quick secret with the audience? You told me during the break that having heard yourself sing, you're determined to get an actual number done. Is that real?
Yes, it's a big thing with me, and it's something I'm dying to do. It's just that I haven't quite mustered up enough courage to go and actually. But
Have
now,
you got a song in mind?
well, I have actually more than the song. I have the images in my mind. You know, the kind of video that I want to do, how I want to shoot it, where I have all that in my mind. I haven't really gone down to the.
So Malaika the
perfect song.
singer is the next one we're going to see.
Probably, yeah. I'd love to come out with my own single. Definitely. I think we're.
Well, I look forward to that. Good luck and many, many thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It was fun.